This is the Solving a Linear System by Graphing Using a Calculator guided notes video. So for this video, I'll be going between this screen right here, which you should have in your packet, your guided notes, and this right here. Okay, so this is my version of the calculator. I've got all my buttons right here, and this is my screen, which will project. Okay, so try to stay with me here. So first, to start off, you're going to need a TI-83 calculator. And if you don't know where to get those TI-83 calculators, come see me. I'll get one right for you. Okay? Alright, so first thing you want to do, you're going to want to press on. Okay? If there's anything on your screen, I want you to hit clear. Again, if you have to pause this video, that's fine. I know a lot of these buttons, for some people, it's going to be the first time you've seen them in this format. So if you need to pause the video, no problem at all. Just hit play when you're ready to rejoin me again. Okay? So this is what your screen should look like right here. And again, my screen over here looks just like that. Okay? Alright, so now what we're going to do. We want to graph these two equations. So to graph these two equations, we need to graph them in a certain place. So in the upper left-hand corner, on my screen here, it's this red button, okay? Hit y equals. Okay, and yours might be a different color, but it should say the same thing. It should say just y equals. Okay, so if there are equations plugged in on the screen, go to each equation, just highlight it using these arrows right here, and hit clear. Okay, we want this completely empty before we start what we're going to do. Okay, and again, this is what your screen should look like. So if I go to my calculator, I'm right here, I'm going to hit y equals, and this pops right up. Okay. So we'll keep scrolling down, and we need an example. So this will be the example we use. So next to y1, which is this top option, you will type in this top equation. Okay? And next to y2, you will type in the bottom equation. Okay? So this y1 actually represents this y right here. So when we are using the graphing calculator to solve systems of equations, we need to have the y by itself. If the y is not by itself, this will not work for us. It will pop up on your screen as error or something like that. Okay? So big rule, y needs to be by itself. So y1 is going to represent this y, y2 is going to represent this y. Okay? So I'll go to my calculator. So I'm at y1. So y equals -3/8x. So because this is a fraction, we need to use parentheses. So negative, which is down here, remember it's not the minus sign. Negative sign and minus sign are different. 3 divided by 8, close parenthesis. And to get our variable, or to get our x, we're going to hit this button right up here. It's right next to alpha. Plus 4. So top equation's plugged in. Now let's go down to y2. So we're down at y2. And the equation is x minus 7. So there. And I believe on the notes, I actually have the sequence of buttons that you need to press from the very beginning in order to get to this stage right here. So this is what your screen should look like at this point. Okay, pause video if you need more time. I'm going to keep moving on. All right. So, in the upper right-hand corner, we have those equations. We're going to hit graph. So this button right up here. Okay? So when you hit graph, your grid should show up and your two lines should show up. If you can't see your two lines, that means you're just zoomed way too far in or way too far out. Okay? So if you have to zoom in or out, press zoom. Which is this middle button in the top row. Okay? Then go to zoom in or zoom out and hit enter twice. So the first time you hit enter, nothing's really going to happen. Second time you hit enter, it should work for you. It should zoom in or out depending on what you asked it to do. So play around with those zoom buttons until you can see the two lines. Okay? So I'll go to mine. Okay, I hit graph. And I get my two lines. Okay? But again, if I did have to zoom, let's say I wanted to zoom out, I would hit zoom, go down to zoom out, hit enter once, hit enter again, and it will zoom way out for me. So to zoom back in, I'll hit zoom, go to zoom in, hit enter once, hit enter twice. Okay? So now what we're going to do, to see where these two lines intersect, because we know that's where our solution is, we will use these arrows right here. Okay, so I scroll over a little to the left. And that's right on it. Okay, so down here you might have something awfully close like 7.9 and 0.999. Just round up. Okay, for the sake of using the graphing calculator, some of them will not be as exact as this. Okay, but if you do want it to be exact, you just have to keep on zooming in further and further. Okay, so notice at the bottom of the screen here. At the bottom of the screen, I'll flip back over to my notes. It says x equals 8 and y equals 1. And those can be found right here. Okay? This is the solution to this system of equations because that is the point of intersection with the two lines. So the two lines cross at the point 8, 1.